Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the Geek Blend, and this is a video I've been saying I'm going to be doing for a long time, finally getting around to do it. We're actually going to go through the Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer and break it down. I know it's been out for a while now, and this is a little bit late, but I wanted to kind of go through the trailer and give my thoughts on it. But first we're going to watch it in its entirety, then we'll go back and we will break it down. So, if you're new to the channel and you've never seen this before and you do enjoy what you're seeing so far, hit that like button and then maybe hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate that. For more Zack Snyder's Justice League content, you'll be getting quite a bit of that. I have literally a stack of articles and a stack of things I want to talk about this movie before it is released on the 18th of March, which is this month. It is time. It is the month of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I still cannot believe it sometimes that we're actually getting this movie. I think back about my time with the Snyder Cut movement. My personal account I had before my Geek Blend account on Twitter was very active in the beginning of that, and my Facebook, I see memories all the time of me talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's been fun to be a part of this amazing group, this amazing community, these amazing people who've come together for a great cause and help Zack get his vision realized so he can actually see what he meant to do for the continuation after Batman v Superman. And after the tragedy he faced in his life, him and his wife, Deborah, to come back and be able to get this opportunity, it's pretty amazing for them. And I'm really happy that they're getting to do this. I really, really am. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer now, and then we will break it down, because this thing has a lot of stuff in it to look at. And let's go ahead and watch this thing in its entirety, and then we'll go back through it and break it down. But I'm going to go through it at first. We're not going to talk about it. Then I'll go back and we will, once it's over, we will go back and actually go through each sequence.
The bell's been rung. Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
I had a dream. Almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
Love that
You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to.
We live in a society where honor
I love it so much.
is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
March 18th on HBO Max. Everybody get ready. If you're not a subscriber to HBO Max and you want to check this thing out, definitely go subscribe. If you're out of the United States and you want to see this, go online and search how to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and then put your state or your country. Your country, and you will get some results, because there are a lot of places it's actually streaming online starting on the 18th if you're in other countries besides HBO Max. So definitely check that out and figure out where you can watch it, because it's definitely going to be worth it. Now, let's go ahead and go back and actually go through this thing, because there's a lot of shit in here to break down. I mean, a lot. I've been following this thing for a while. I've seen a lot of storyboards, a lot of scenes with unfinished CGI from Cyborg and some other characters, and a lot of animatics that they've done for, like, I know a lot of people have seen some of them that have come out recently, but he's been posting them for a while. And I will say that there's a video out there about 45 minutes long that goes through the stuff we know already. And it's only 45 minutes long. Think about that for a minute. We're getting a 4-hour and 2-minute film, and we only know that much. Little scenes here and there. And there's a lot of stuff we don't know. But there's a lot of stuff that we got in Justice League that was completely reshot. And what Zack did is way better, and you will find that out. If you're one of those people who are like, oh, it's just going to be like a recut of the same thing I saw, absolutely not. We got maybe 10%, maybe 15% of what Zack shot in the theatrical version of Justice League. Now, I, myself, and some other people that I like, Mara Jade, Lethal Lighting, some other people like that, are going to join me on the 17th, a Wednesday evening, to watch Zack Snyder, or watch Justice League. And then when we watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and we go back and review it and talk about it on the High Ground and some other streams, we're going to say, hey, we just watched it. That wasn't in there. That wasn't in there. This is not just a recut of the same thing. This is Zack's original stuff he shot before Whedon and company and Jeff Johns and all those assholes came in and fucked it up. I mean, because even with the Vanity Fair article, which I will be doing a video on very soon, there is an unnamed source at Warner Brothers that said how bad the movie was because they knew it. And if you watch the movie, you know how bad it was. There's a warning that I will be going through things that are known about this film. So if you want to go in not knowing anything about Zack Snyder's Justice League, you might want to click away now. Just a warning for everyone, because I don't want to spoil anything in case you don't want to be spoiled. But let's go ahead and get into the Snyder Cut trailer, because this is the version of Justice League we deserve. Let's get in here. Of course, the first scene you're going to see, it's going to open with Henry Cavill's Superman after he's defeated by Doomsday in Batman v Superman. You can see the wound in his chest, and you can see that he is screaming, and you can see the ripples out from his last, dying breath, his, death throes, if you want to say that. We're going to see this. We're going to see Jesse Eisenberg, more of that sequence that we saw in BVS where he's actually talking to Steppenwolf with the mother boxes. Not sure if we're going to get any dialogue in that scene or not, but we're going to get more of that. I like how it kind of opens up and it goes through, and then you can see the echoes and remnants of his voice go through, right there. You see the ripples of it going through. This is the end of BVS. All the destruction that was caused by Doomsday, and then Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman trying to take Doomsday out. That's what this is. And you'll see it again here in a second. You hear Lex right there. The bell's already been rung, and they've heard it out among the stars, like he talked about at the end of BVS, which means that the god is dead. Superman is no longer a protector of Earth, so now Darkseid can set his sights on Earth and send Steppenwolf to take over. Now this shot here of Hippolyta on Themyscira, this is after the Steppenwolf attack where he takes the mother box. We saw in the Justice League, Steppenwolf does come into this little temple area where they have the mother box, and there's a really short, really, really bad chase sequence that they did with the old design of Steppenwolf, and he takes the mother box and gets out of there. This one will be a lot longer, a lot more violent, and you'll see actual Steppenwolf that Zack his design was meant to be seen in the version. So we got that there.
God is dead.
Lex says the god is dead, so now we know the Darkseid has his sights set on Earth. Another shot of Batman here in the nightmare sequence, by the way. He says I had a dream, or like a premonition. We saw a little bit of that in Batman v Superman. We know that if they don't stop Steppenwolf and Darkseid shows up, we're actually going to see the nightmare sequence, because you see in BVS and even possibly in this one that Superman is being controlled by the anti-life. He's basically been, he's being controlled by the anti-life equation. Darkseid finally has the anti-life equation, so he takes over Superman's. Superman cannot control his own thoughts anymore. He's under the rule of Darkseid. Now, Zack said recently on the IGN thing, or I believe it was the IGN FanFest and another thing online, that Justice League 2 originally was supposed to be entirely in the nightmare scenario. There's a lot of things that were supposed to happen. And he also did say this thing ends on a cliffhanger. So, there's a lot of things that could happen on that cliffhanger.
I had a dream.
We see more of the nightmare scenario if Darkseid actually wins. We see the Omega symbol in the ground from a different angle than we saw in BVS. Just a beautiful, beautiful shot. We see Diana here. Hold on. She gets the arrow right there. Yep, that her mom shot from Themyscira to warn her of an impending invasion. She goes down and through this area and finds all these like paintings and the history of what happened in the history lesson. And you saw a little bit of it in Justice League. Instead of Steppenwolf, it's actually Uxas, a young Darkseid, that is the one who is actually coming to Earth. And like Steppenwolf is there, but Uxas is the one leading the attack, where the Amazons, the humans, and the Atlanteans and the old gods come together to fight him off and to get him off of the planet so he cannot take over Earth. So she's going through this, and there is a very great shot here with Diana Prince, played by Gal Gadot here, just beautifully, where you can see fear in her eyes after she sees the image of Darkseid here, because she knows, and I'm sure she's been told by the old gods and her people at Themyscira and everything that's been handed down to them, she knows what this was. She knows what happened. She knows that the Amazons were there to stave him off the first time, and that's why she's scared of him here. But I love that we actually see, like, fear in her eyes here because she knows who that is.
There's an attack coming.
Now we get here. This is actually Apocalypse, I believe. If you look in the background, you see it burning, like the fire, like I'm trying to think way to put it here. In the nightmare sequence, in the background, you see like pillars of fire shooting up from the ground up into one of the ships. This actually might be that, or this might actually be on Apocalypse. I think it's on Apocalypse. So we get a really amazing shot here of Darkseid in the middle. On the left there is Desaad, and on the right is Granny Goodness. If you zoom in a 4K scan of this image, I've seen people do it, it looks like Dame Judi Dench. It really does. If that would be amazing if that's who's playing Granny Goodness, but I think it might just be a similarity. We're not sure. But a really amazing shot of Desaad here. I love his like robe, armor he's got on. And Darkseid has his armor there with the Omega symbol on it, which he does in the comics quite a bit. He's got his red glowing eyes, almost orange there, like fire. And he kind of has a very, like, Jack Kirby kind of look to it, but a very modernized version of it. It's very much taken off of Jack Kirby's version of the New Gods and Darkseid in that storyline. Great story in DC Comics. Go check it out. But it looks fantastic. I really enjoy that shot.
My lord.
We see Steppenwolf fall to his knees, and you see somebody coming out, which I think it might be the Mother Box or something here. But it's definitely Darkseid. I think he's talking to Darkseid because he says, "My lord, this world will fall like all the others." And we heard in the original Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer that Steppenwolf's voiceover from Kieran Hines, who actually is going to get to play Steppenwolf at a more sinister version of that than what he did in the theatrical version in Justice League. He actually went back and redid a lot of his lines for Justice League, and he's got a very much more like... I'm trying to say, like, kind of like a so civilized, kind of snarky thing in Justice League, which doesn't work for Steppenwolf. And you see Darkseid there. That trailer, by the way, where he says, "No lanterns, no kryptonium, no protectors here. This world will fall like all the others." One of my favorite lines in any trailer ever. Really great stuff. And you see the parademons in the background. It's not purple anymore with that weird color tone that they had in the theatrical version. It looks so much better. And then we get a shot here of Steppenwolf, where his armor starts to come off, and you see him for like his actual like skin tone there. You see what his head looks like, and the armor kind of comes down on that like that. I love that how the armor kind of just. I think Zach said in an interview what we've seen that it reacts to his emotions and what's going on in his mind at the time. That's the way the armor reacts. We see it kind of stick up and spikes when he lands in Themyscira later on in the trailer, but we get the kind of shot here of him without the armor on. I think it's a beautiful shot, very well done, and it looks fantastic. This shot here of the Amazons, and I believe this might be, I don't think this is the history lesson because... Yeah, this is on Themyscira when he's trying to get the Mother Box and chasing the Amazons. Because you'll see here in a second, he chops one up pretty hardcore. This thing is good. There's Hippolyta inside the building waiting for Steppenwolf to come in to get the Mother Box. I'm so happy that we get to see Connie Nielsen play her again. She's so good in that role. Really well done. Like right there, he just wrecks an Amazon. Blood's flying everywhere. Then you get that great shot. Spiky Boy himself, Steppenwolf with the spike coming off. He's in attack mode, so his emotions are feeling like he's attacking. So I'm guessing why the armor spikes out is because that's the way he's feeling at the time. But just a really Really great shot of Steppenwolf, and it looks fantastic. I'm so happy they got to go back and do this because we get to see what he was supposed to look like. And even though the studio at the time deemed it to be too scary, now we get to see him in all his glory in the rated R version of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Wow, it looks great.
I need war.
This is a shot we saw in the Comic-Con first look with Bruce Wayne talking to Aquaman, Arthur Curry, and it's not the reshot sequence, it's the actual sequence that they originally shot. You can tell by the color palette, the way Ben looks, the way his beard is, it looks so much better. This is him trying to recruit Aquaman. This is where that scene is. Now, this is from the beginning sequence that you saw in Justice League where she actually goes in because those people were trying to set off a bomb in the beginning in that heist sequence that she saves people from. There are 2 bombs in the sequence. This is the second bomb that goes off in the Wonder Woman sequence where she saves those people in the beginning. Nobody actually dies from what I've heard, but she does actually she doesn't stop the one bomb from going off. There's London police cars and stuff there, yeah.
I'm building an alliance.
This shot of Aquaman, I will say this right now, this is one of my favorite shots of him altogether throughout everything we've seen. From Justice League, which had some really shitty shots, to some amazing shots of him in Aquaman, directed by James Wan. But this is just one of my favorite shots where he's blocking Steppenwolf's axe. It's a beautiful shot where he's trying to... Steppenwolf is down there in Atlantis to take the mother box from the Atlanteans because they have one of the mother boxes.
To defend ourselves.
Now, that's another thing.
Warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
Okay, this is in the Nightmare sequence. You can see behind him the way the sky is. Again, I'm going to reiterate spoilers here. I don't think this is Cyborg's design for the Nightmare sequence. I think this is something that they did not to give it away. It's a very different look for Cyborg in the Nightmare sequence. We'll talk about that a little bit more, even like when we get to the end shot with Joker and Batman, because you can see Cyborg behind him. But I believe Cyborg is fully helmeted and has 4 arms in the Nightmare sequence, and I believe he also has 4 arms in the sequence where they're trying to take out Superman or trying to calm Superman down in the park when Superman is resurrected. But yeah, I don't think this is the shot you're actually going to see in the movie of Cyborg. This, of course, is from that rescue. Not rescue. This is from that sequence I think it's Heroes Park, I believe. Probably wrong. If I remember it or see it somewhere, I'll put it down below, but I think it's Heroes Park. It's where the Superman statue was in Batman v Superman, where they changed it to like a memorial for him after he died in BVS. Which, I will say, you did not see a lot of that in this trailer, which I'm okay with, because apparently it goes on a lot longer, and it's a very different sequence the way it was shot. Zack Snyder did it versus what they reshot, so I'm excited to see it. And you can see the Batmobile here, really great shot of that.
How do you know your team's...
And you don't get that nasty purple hue that's in the sky and all over the weird stuff growing out of the ground. And you get that amazing line from Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
How do you know your team's strong enough?
Okay. He says, how do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't beat the Charging Bull, don't wave the red cape in front of it. This shot here as well is Steppenwolf versus Diana in the under Gotham City Harbor, where it's Bruce as Batman, it's Cyborg, it's Flash, it's Wonder Woman. I believe it's after Batman discovers the Parademon S and he figures out what's happening at that point, and that's how they get there. But yeah, great shot.
If you can't bring down the Charging Bull...
Really great shot here. Steppenwolf and Diana fighting there with Aquaman. That's actually the final sequence of the film, which is a lot different now as well. This is the hologram of Superman that they're looking at in the cave. Actually, I think it's in the hangar.
Red cape at it.
Yes, it's in the hangar. It's not in the cave. This is where the flying fox is. And we get that really cool shot. We saw it in the theatrical of Superman, the flag over in London as people are mourning him. Then this is actually Lois Lane turning around, walking through Metropolis, and she sees, and the shot's in the original trailer from Fandom, where she sees up behind her, above, is floating in the sky is Superman. And that's how she goes to Heroes Park. She's not in the car with Batman and Alfred. It's not Batman's secret weapon like in Justice League. It's a different way that she finds out he's alive in this one. This is from the history lesson. See all the ships flying in from Apocalypse with Uxas and Steppenwolf and the mother boxes, and I'm sure Desaad's going to be there. And there's Uxas right there, creating the anti-life equation. And this shot here, This is in the Kryptonian ship when they go to revive and bring back Superman. A lot of people didn't see this in the first viewing, but you see Jonathan Kent's picture here. But in the background, you can see Superman being lowered into that goo that Lex Luthor used to create Doomsday in Batman v Superman. And there's a reason why Superman does not become Doomsday in this, and he comes back to life. It's because he has the Codex embedded in his DNA. And this here is Cyborg, I believe, inside the mother box. Either when he's seeing his mom and dad and he's being tempted by the mother box, or this is where he kind of goes through the entire security system of the United States and the world, getting rid of the nukes and stuff that we see in the one trailer where like waves and all these missiles and stuff off to the right. Really great shot. So much stuff from Cyborg was chopped out. Ray Fisher has said in interviews multiple times that his version of stuff he shot with Zack was not used. Most of the stuff they used, except for maybe a few scenes, was all reshoots. So you're going to see so much more with Cyborg that you didn't see. We know Zack said that he is the heart of this movie, so that's another reason to be excited for this. You actually get to see what he was meant for Victor Stone, aka Cyborg.
Here for a reason.
Of course, this is a shot we saw, and this was in the theatrical version. Wasn't one of the original trailers where Flash comes up and pushes her sword back to her and when he's running through the Speed Force. And this is Aquaman in the harbor helping them out. He shows up like right at the end. It's like I said earlier, it's Batman, it's Flash, it's Cyborg and Wonder Woman, and then he shows up as well. And of course, this is the sequence with the Flash we did not get. This is him saving Iris West. It's going to be a great sequence, I believe, and I'm hopeful that going forward, this actress continues to play Iris West. She was very excited about it, and all of her scenes were cut out of the theatrical. She was very disappointed, so I'm hoping this will get her back into the Flash film, or I'm hoping she's still attached to that. I hope, at least.
And even if it takes you the rest
Really,
of
really,
your
really
life.
amazing shot here we saw in the Phantom trailer. This is at the beginning of the film. After we've seen a few things to recap from BVS and some other shots from that angle, different angles, this is going to be Bruce going to that village to recruit Aquaman. This shot, Batman under Gotham Harbor, when he really didn't do a whole lot. It was kind of useless in the theatrical. He was. And Zack's like, no. My Batman is not useless. We'll see him, dodging those parademon shots with his gauntlets there. It's really badass. We're going to see Batman doing a ton of badass shit in this movie. So just wait.
Find out what that.
A little more of Lois and Clark on the farm. It'll be the original sequence we were supposed to see instead of that really weird stuff that they reshot where he's like, I didn't smell good before or something like that. And he's like, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's that weird face that they did when they took off his mustache in post-production during visual effects. Just a nightmare fuel image of some of those shots that they did. It just did not look right at all.
That reason is.
Now, we're going to get a kind of a we're going to circle back to Man of Steel. We're going to have like another first flight moment from Superman in the black suit here. We're also going to get a first flight sequence from Cyborg. This is off of a building in Gotham, I believe. There are some unfinished shots with CGI where you see Cyborg, Ray Fisher's character Cyborg, Victor Stone, kind of figuring out how to fly and use his thrusters and how to do it. And he will use his helmet. It'll come down as he's flying through the atmosphere and stuff, or through the sky. But it will get kind of a first flight sequence for him too. It's going to be really amazing. Really looking forward to it. Of course, this is going to be the Themyscira. I think as they're going with the camera through to the dome back there where it houses the mother box, I think that's what we're going to see. This is going to be the mother box sequence. And there's Steppenwolf climbing on the, I'm trying to remember what it is. So he's got the Flying Fox, he's got the Crawler. It's called something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But Steppenwolf's climbing on it, probably tearing it apart. Now this shot. This was in one of the teasers that Zack released before the trailer came out. I'm going to get the music off so we don't keep getting a copyright on that. But anyway, this shot here of Batman. It's concept art. Unworked stuff that we saw of Batman finding a parademon nest and him going in and actually kicking some ass in that sequence. I believe this is him outside of the nest, having found it in the Bat tank, which is from the freaking Dark Knight Returns. I mean, it's literally the exact same tank. So it's the Batmobile / the Bat tank from that. It's just absolutely stunning. Get more stuff of Barry and his dad. We'll get a little bit more of Barry's background. You got 4 hours. The studio wanted to cut it to 2 hours, and Zack's like, I can't do that. I have all these other characters to set up now because we rushed to Justice League. So we're going to get more of Barry, a lot more of Cyborg, and more of Aquaman, because at that time he wasn't set up. He didn't have a solo movie yet. This is, if you see Flash behind Barry, this is if you see Flash behind Cyborg, this is Cyborg, I believe, going into the Mother Box and seeing what Darkseid has planned. And with Flash behind him, I think this is also, at a point in the film, I do think the heroes will lose. And that really makes, and then I think Flash goes back in time to reset everything, because they need Superman to beat Steppenwolf. Without Superman, they can't win. But I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe they're actually going to lose this battle, and the Flash will have to go through the Speed Force and go back in time. That's one of my predictions right there. This shot of Steppenwolf underwater catching the Mother Box already looks better than the theatrical. And then, of course, we get to see the Martha Kent, Lois Lane, Clark Kent reunion together, which is beautiful. And we get Batman, of course, jumping into that crawler. I think it's called the something crawler. But he jumps into that, of course, he says, like, my turn, or something like that. And this is, that was Diana hitting Steppenwolf. This is Barry in the Speed Force. He's actually in the Speed Force. I think he's going back in time. He's running towards some kind of big explosion here. This might be when they lost, and he's trying to reset time. I don't know. This is one I don't know about. Great shot of the heroes coming off of the Flying Fox to go face Steppenwolf, as Batman is going to go and lead the parademons away in the Batmobile. It's really amazing shot. It's actually a really cool sequence in the Flying Fox where they're heading towards Steppenwolf to the last battle. We're all like getting prepared and stuff, and it's going to be really cool. We see Flashlight doing like meditation poses and stuff, and it's really cool. Like it's going to be an amazing shot, an amazing cool sequence. This is the Age of Heroes, will never come again. And he's like, well, it has to. Bruce says it has to. More shots from the history lesson, which is going to be much longer and much cooler than what we got in Justice League. There's Poseidon. Here's Batman flying in. Aquaman flying in with the pit. We with the quadrant, something like that. He's got 4. It's got 5. It's not quad. It's something else. But he uses it and he throws it in. And he like spears like 3 or 4 parademons. This is a really great shot of Diana jumping over Steppenwolf during that Gotham Harbor sequence. I also believe that this is the Gotham Harbor sequence as well. And we get the really cool shot at the end here with Henry Cavill with the laser eyes. Believe this is, as you can see behind him, that's actually a boom tube. Superman punches. I think Aquaman stabs him, throws him. Superman punches him, and one of them cuts his head off. And as he goes through the boom tube, his head rolls at Darkseid's feet. It's going to be a really cool sequence. And Age of Heroes shouldn't come, and has to, is what he says here. And then we get the end credits, and you're like, oh, that's all we're going to get, right? That's all we're going to get? No, we're going to get more. We're going to get Joker. You know what we get?
We live in a society
Zack took the meme and ran with it. I love it.
where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right?
So there's Cyborg behind Batman in the Nightmare sequence. This sequence with Batman and Joker and Cyborg, I believe Flash is there as well. Even Mara, Amber Heard's Mara, I believe is there as well too. This is all stuff. This scene here with Joker was reshot. Something that Zack wanted to include because he thought it was a crime that we would never get to see Ben Affleck's Batman versus Jared Leto's Joker. We're actually going to see them interact on the screen together. And now we're going to, which is amazing. Hopefully, with everything we do, with how well we make the Snyder Cut like a success, that they actually continue the Snyderverse on HBO Max. I think it'd be a perfect platform for that. Give Ben a series. Let him face the Joker, Deathstroke, other characters. I think it'd be fantastic. But then, of course, we get this shot here. Batman. Really cool shot of Jared Leto's Joker. It's a very new shot. Got more makeup on. more black under the eyes. His lipstick's all around his eyes. We don't see the tattoos at all. Jared Leto was very, very excited when Zach called him and told him to come. He asked him if he wanted to do this. He apparently was very, very on board, and he said some very, very amazing things about Zack Snyder and working with Zach. Since then, every time he's interviewed for something, I think it's The Little Things or something like that. He did on HBO Max recently. It was nominated as well as like theater and HBO Max. And he was in that film. He was being interviewed quite a bit on like a press junket tour. And he was asked about Zack Snyder and being in Justice League. And he talked about how amazing it was to work with Zack and how awesome Zack is. So hopefully down the road, because Zack said he would love to do a Batman versus Joker film, which would be fucking fantastic. So maybe we'll get some more of Ben Affleck's Batman and this Joker if Zack Snyder's Justice League succeeds. Because if it does really, really well and makes a lot of money for HBO Max and for Warner Brothers, I don't see what's stopping them. Because if they want to make money, they need to listen to the fans. And if this is popular, which I hope it is, even with normies, which I've been explaining to a lot of my friends who are normies who don't understand what this is. So if you have friends as well, they're like, that Justice League movie we got in 2017 was really weird. Be like, yeah, that was a bunch of reshoots. We weren't supposed to see that version. The version coming out on HBO Max is what we're supposed to see. Spread the word around. Let people know that this is what we're going to get. But this is a really great sequence here, or shot, I mean, and I really love it. I'm one of the people who actually like Jared Leto's Joker. I know there wasn't much to judge his character off of, but I think he did a really good job in the role. And hopefully, with the success of this, we get the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. It's another thing where they won't have to do very much to kind of, maybe do some effects to clean it up and then have Ayer re-edit it to where it was supposed to be for what we were supposed to see in the theaters. Because it actually is kind of a setup to Justice League. But that's the end of the trailer. That's the last shot. We get it streaming on March 18th, guys. March 18th. Can you guys believe that? Can you guys believe that? We're actually, it's the 2nd today. 16 days away from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I still cannot believe it. It's amazing. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Like I said, I know everybody's done it, and their brother has done it, and their mom has done it. And I'm really, really late on it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video no matter what. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the breakdown. Did I miss something that you know about? Did something stick out to you that I didn't talk about? I want to hear from you guys. As always, I love your comments. You guys are great. Leave a like on the video. It does help us out. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see some more. Hit that bell for notifications so you can stay up to date on everything we'll release here on the channel. There's a lot more Zack Snyder's Justice League content coming soon. I'm also going to do a video talking about the Superman reboot that they have discussed with J.J. Abrams' Bad Reboot Company, because I have some thoughts on that, and you guys are going to want to check that out. So keep an eye on the channel this week for more videos, and I will be getting more out this week. I do apologize. Like I said, life has kind of gotten in the way of actually doing videos against, we've had a lot of live streams, of course, but recording videos and getting them out there for you guys it's kind of been on hold a little bit. So thank you guys for being patient with me. I do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. And I want to say thank you to everyone who supports the channel currently, whether you're a channel member, you do Patreon, or you do Subscribe Star, or you do one-time donation. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for all you do for the channel. It really does help me out very, very much. All those links are in the description below, along with our social media and our Discord. That community over there continues to grow and grow, so definitely check that out. I'm Jeff. This is the Geek Blend, and remember, if you geek about it, we speak about it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. And I want to say a special thank you to all of my current channel supporters. You guys mean a lot to me, and I wanted to say thank you. And if you want to become a channel supporter, you can find all the links in the description below. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a great day. See you in the next video.